Bike through the biggest food market in France. Sample the best of Paris's bistros. Then shop for kitchen equipment, big time, as Pierre lights up the City of Light, this time on Pierre Franey's Cooking in France.
Pierre Franey's Cooking in France is made possible by the Grand Marnier Foundation, proud to support public television, and by Carillon Importers Limited, importing beverages in the spirit of quality.
There's France, and then there's Paris, a destination unto itself. Largely undamaged by war, the center of Paris bears witness to the days of Napoleon, with the emperor's grand boulevards and soaring monuments. Paris is home to almost 10 million people, 1/5 of the entire French population. When the French look at the map, they say their country has the shape of a hexagon. And appropriately enough for a city that dominates France, Paris is located right in the heart of the hexagon. Paris is a special type of metropolis, a cosmopolitan capital that, despite its grand monuments, retains a strong sense of neighborhood. Forget supermarkets. For most Parisians, shopping for food is a daily ritual. In these lively open-air markets, merchants offer up more than just produce. They freely give out recipes, unsolicited advice, and unquestionable wisdom. All this pageantry unfolds every morning, but by lunchtime it's packed up and over with. Europe's largest food market is located just south of Paris, near Orly Airport, in the neighborhood called Rungis. The market covers 440 acres of blacktop and is home to 1,600 wholesalers who supplied 2.2 million tons of food last year. Buyers shop at Rungis by the case, not the piece, and the public isn't invited. So Pierre was lucky to have a friend, restaurateur André Genin, a Rungis regular, to meet him and show him around. The two buddies arrived at 5 a.m. For Rungis, that's late. The gigantic refrigerated fish hanger had opened at 4 a.m. and had already dispatched most of its orders to restaurants, fish shops, and neighborhood markets. Pierre himself is a knowledgeable fisherman, but he was awed by the variety of seafood available. If it swims anywhere on the planet, you can buy it at Rungis. Rungis is divided into a series of huge chilli hangars dedicated to fish, meat, vegetables, and so on. Pierre and André donned the appropriate attire to inspect a special hall devoted exclusively to animal innards. The vast assortment of these boxed and hanging innards was dear to Pierre's heart and put him in a playful mood. But there's much more at Rungis than just unusual French delicacies. Baby vegetables are shipped in from Israel. Pork comes from Poland. And believe it or not, chanterelle mushrooms from the U.S. Pacific Northwest. And everything at Rungis runs on wheels. But now it was noon, closing time, and a final spin through the vegetable market ended quite a morning of food shopping. Half a century ago, Pierre had launched his career as an apprentice at the restaurant Drouin in the heart of the fashionable right bank. And just around the corner is André Genin's own Chez Pauline. With its red banquette seats, fresh flowers, and mirrored walls, Chez Pauline is a classic bistro. Every day at lunchtime, businessmen pack the place, mixing with writers and other regular customers. The Genin family has been running Chez Pauline since 1952. André grew up in the kitchen, taking over the stove from his father. Pierre asked him to prepare a classic bistro recipe, huîtres panées, lightly breaded and sautéed oysters.
Why are you doing this here?
To see exactly where I can put the knife.
See, that's, you scratch it right here, you know exactly where to put the knife.
I see that is
see,
better.
because sometimes it's very thin here, you know, the shell, the two shells, so you don't see the,
and so
where the opening
take
is.
Always,
it's a very good point to open oysters.
Because if you miss, like that, you don't risk anything.
See, now he knows exactly where to place the knife.
The knife into
the tip
that.
Of the knife. The tip of the knife.
You turn the knife. And
turn the knife, you squeeze, you rotate it,
so open
you
it
twist
slowly,
it, and then that's it.
and that's it.
You cannot use a paring knife for that.
No.
You have to use a real oyster knife.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's very important, a real oyster knife. Because a paring knife, the blade may break,
So?
you may hurt yourself.
After
Alright. So you got 12 oysters here, I can see.
bingo.
And you're gonna cook them for us? You're gonna show
Yes.
us to do it?
So I take little pan. I take all
Alright.
the
So you're removing the oysters from the shell.
yeah, like that.
You cut the muscle, who's holding
And
the
I keep it because when you
shell,
cook,
the
I
oyster
like that.
together. Right there, yeah. I could see what you slice
Be
the
careful
muscle,
with the don't to put some parts of the shell.
And
I
then
put some juice.
and their own juice.
No. Okay, like that.
And
And
okay.
that's all for.
And then what?
And then I take I'm waiting
He's gonna poach them very
But-
briefly.
briefly,
Okay.
just a little.
See when
2 minutes.
yeah, well you see when the iron start to curl here.
So I take that
This is
off.
the time to turn it. So you
Just a
turn
little
them.
boiling. Tuck, 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 tuck.
They barely cook.
A little bit more.
Leave it on both
Second
sides.
boil. And it's okay. So I take
see.
all the.
So you remove them from the pan immediately, huh? Really nice and plump.
So now
That way they get, they got this, they got a nice shape. They're nice and plump. They're not
do it slowly
flat.
because it's fragile.
Yeah.
You can break it. So if you want
So
to,
you have to be very careful when you
careful,
remove
yeah.
them.
So now we can strain the water of the.
There are the oysters.
Oyster.
And a fine cut.
Now it's hot, so
Yeah.
don't put the shell.
Yeah.
So I debass.
So you're gonna reduce that?
Yes, not too much. I put the lemon juice also,
How much you gonna put?
1 teaspoon. Yes, because after it's too dry.
You know it
So?
to be too acid, right?
When it's boiling,
So when it's boiling, he's got some soft butter here,
voilà.
and he's adding 2 tablespoons of butter. Or you bind the butter, which is kind of soft, and then you whisk it with a fork or a whisk.
A little whisk or a fork, slowly. So the sauce is finished.
And the sauce is finished.
Now I
okay.
just pan the oyster.
You mean you're gonna bread them, huh?
Yes, I can
All right.
bread the oyster.
So what?
I bread 1 egg,
So you want whole eggs?
4 eggs.
So no seasoning, huh?
No seasoning because the oyster is salted already.
So you beat it with a fork. You have to blind the yolks and the white together, and it's got to be kind of runny. Yeah.
So that's
And then
take the oyster. Now it's cold, so you do that. You round it
you dip them in the
Yeah.
eggs
and you pan it slowly.
and slightly bread it, and you
And you
shed the
reserve it
excess.
like that. Okay.
Okay.
So.
So
add the
you're
oyster.
making enough oyster for two servings. You give
Yeah.
about 6 oyster per serving, yeah?
Yes. Now I cook my spinach.
So here's your épinard.
Let's see.
And that is, il n'y a pas d'assaisonnement, there's no seasoning
Nothing.
here.
Nothing.
Again, because of the oyster, they're very fresh. But you have to
You
check
will
it.
see.
Yeah. They're going to be wilted.
You don't boil the spinach before. You don't need that.
No,
You keep the taste of the.
the whole flavor of the
whole
spinach
flavor,
in
yeah.
there. I remember in the old days we used to cook
Yes,
it in the
you
water.
cook first in the water. After
Mash
you
it.
refresh. After
Squeeze
you,
it.
you squeeze it, and after you put
I
in the
remember those
butter.
days.
So
I agree, this technique is much better. So that way, now it's ready to cook
the
the
oyster.
oysters. Good. The fire, there's got to be medium heat. You don't want the moisture. The idea is to see the breading, so the moisture is going to stay inside of the oyster, the liquid. Move them around, and when they start to get brown, voilà, non, tu les tournes un peu, hein?
Just a little bit, we'll finish after.
Oh, yeah. Your English is very good. Tell me in English.
This one is good.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
So you'd say about a minute on each side?
Yes, not more. You know, like that, the color is good.
Yeah, it's a good color.
Yeah. So, now I'm going to dress all the dishes. We put the spinach.
You're going to fill that up.
I feel
You could use that, or you could just put it in the center. It's up to you.
Yes.
But those
with that,
circles, they're very nice. You know,
I put the sauce around.
put the oysters around. Then,
Take that off.
that's very nice. I'm going to try the oyster with.
We'll try with you.
One taste of André's oysters, and Pierre was ready for the kind of food he likes best.
Very nice.
Nothing fancy, just a perfectly executed bistro meal. For starters, they were served full plates of ham and rabbit pâté. Then the main course. In good French restaurants, roasted chicken is presented at the table, with the white meat served first. The dark meat is returned to the oven to finish cooking and served as a second course. Pierre was content, well-fed, and reassured. Traditional French cooking in Paris would be safe, as long as family-run restaurants like Chez Pauline flourished. Another family-run Paris institution is Dillerin. The family has been selling cookware on this site ever since 1822, and in Pierre's opinion, they carry the best selection anywhere of professional cookware. The store is cluttered from floor to ceiling with copper pots and pans, gadgets galore, and every kind of cooking utensil imaginable.
Hi Pierre, how are
Hey,
you?
bonjour, how are you?
It's been a long time.
Well, that's right, but you know, always come once in a while. I need some special things, you know. I need some of those need pie plate about 3 inches.
Yeah, 3
long.
inches? What's that?
Yeah, about
Okay,
that,
fine, yeah.
Okay,
We've
thank
got
you.
it. We have the professional aluminum line or this one?
No,
tin plate. That's the, yeah.
This is the one I
A little
want.
bit more expensive, but very stronger.
Well, that's all right.
And I want to show you the new stuff we've got. It's right there.
All right. Well, you got so many gadgets here, you know. That,
Yeah, we have some new stuff. And don't forget, the stuff we are with us stuff last time.
Yeah.
And the wine from California you bring me. It was delicious. The dim sum there.
where is that looking for the this is it. No, for the
Yeah, the poultry.
the
Yeah.
poultry. Yeah,
So
yeah.
your Thanksgiving presents.
You know, I'm glad you make it in inox now.
Yeah.
They won't rust. Very nice.
But don't put in your dishwashers. Huh?
No, I won't. Oh, this is good too. I've been looking for something. This is to open oysters, right?
Yeah, that's the end left.